All right, friends, I know I clickbaited you into watching this video. Obviously, we care about people with disabilities, okay? We're not just gonna screw them, but let's get real here for a second. A few months ago, I posted a video about sex and disabilities and talking about how they are significantly underrepresented when we talk about sex and inclusivity, and acknowledging that people with disabilities have as much sexual desire and sexual drive as everybody else. But there is definitely a group of people that we are forgetting about here. Around the person with a disability exists a whole ecosystem of people that are also directly impacted by this disability. So they may not have the disability themselves, but their life, their environment, their mental, physical, financial, emotional, and yes, friends, sexual health is deeply impacted by the disability. Now, obviously, I'm not talking about all disabilities. Disability is a spectrum, depending what it is, who you are, where you come from. There's so many different factors. I'm really talking about disabilities where the person requires a lot of support, a lot of assistance in order to lead a very functional, autonomous life, which, let's be honest, many of the times is not fully functional. Now, someone left a comment on that sex and disability video, and I'm so happy that they did share this comment, and I will be sharing it with you today. I'm assuming that it's okay with them since they commented publicly on my YouTube page, but it really hit home for me because I come from a professional background of working with children with autism, and I have firsthand observed, seen, witnessed what it can be like for a couple to have a child with autism or X disability, and how it can deteriorate your relationship and have a very negative impact on your intimate life. So this video is really about providing a platform and a little, hey, I hear you, we hear you, to those going through this who might feel alone, who might feel they can't talk about it, and just feel seen and heard. All right, I'm gonna share this comment with you right now. I heard a related topic from your YouTube channel a few days ago and decided to join your Patreon group. Side note, shameless promotion for my Patreon. If you wanna check it out and support this channel and support me as a creator, you can click on the link in the description below this video and go check it out. All right, back to the comment. Our son is an adult on the autistic spectrum. Honestly, he may never have a normal social sexual relationship because he has virtually no ability to pick up on social cues. His hygiene is atrocious by most standards, and he cannot conceive of reasons to change. A little appreciated aside of this is that in our experience, 80% of couples with ASPI kids separate. The ASD child becomes a huge drain on the energy of the parents, and honestly, sex life is greatly devalued. Now, first, I wanna say thank you again for this parent for sharing that online publicly, because I know sometimes it can be really, really, really hard to admit those things. Oftentimes, in my experience anyways, people that have children that require a lot of support with autism or any other kind of disability, some of them have a different mindset where it's like life is more positive and they see things more differently, and they learn to have a new lease on life and appreciate things more and so on, which is totally wonderful. But then there's the other side of things where you're allowed to say that sometimes it just fucking sucks. I don't judge you as a parent. I don't judge you as a caregiver. You're allowed to feel those things sometimes. You're allowed to say it sometimes. There is no shame to that. Just know this is a safe space, and I don't judge parents or caregivers or whatnot for having those feelings sometimes. I think it's healthy to just let it out. Let it out of your system, all right? In this video, I'm not gonna be going over some tips and tricks to improve or increase your sex life with your partner if you have kids and so on, because this is a whole different kind of situation. When you watch those videos about how to improve your sex life when you have kids living at home and so on, these typical tips and tricks really don't always apply to parents or caregivers with children or an individual with a disability. So I'm talking about things like getting a babysitter to enjoy a romantic evening out or get a hotel room for the evening. This does not work if you have a child that requires a lot of support, okay? Good luck finding someone if you don't have a God-sent human already who can care for your child as much as you can, or maybe even better than you can. But finding like a casual babysitter to come and care for a child that requires a lot of aids, a lot of different kinds of strategies and so on to help prevent problematic behavior and things like that. It's really, really complicated, okay? And sometimes there's even family members that are really not equipped to do that. So what ends up happening is parents just stay home all the time. They don't go out. They can't make dates. They can't go to hotel rooms. They can't get out to go to the freaking restaurant. They can't do anything because they don't have the help. Another tip, try and get in a quickie while your kids are at school, because maybe your kid is not in school. Maybe your kid can't go to regular school, so he has to go, or she or whoever has to go to some therapy center, a special school that has certain hours and working around therapy schedules and stuff like that. And honestly, like, if your kids are in school, then chances are you're probably going to take a nap and not wanting to have sex. Another one is like, have sex before your children wake up. I mean, let's be honest here, even people with no kids or with typically developing kids don't get enough sleep. So who the hell is waking up before your child to have sex? I don't even have kids and I need my sleep in the mornings. My morning sex has become my afternoon sex. And honestly, you might have a child who doesn't sleep, who wakes up every day at 4 in the morning. Chances are, if your kid's waking up at 4 in the morning or not sleeping at all, you are definitely not waking up before them to get sleep. You are going to take every ounce of advantage of the time that your child is down so that you can just breathe, relax, and hopefully get some sleep. Those are just some examples, but these are things that parents or caregivers with children with autism or another kind of disability that requires a lot of support, it's not realistic for them. Who is thinking about sex and intimacy when your life revolves around probably cleaning up a lot of shit, organizing your schedules around therapy and so on, organizing your home so your child doesn't eat everything? And I'm not just talking about food here, okay? I'm talking about chewing on actual like objects and plastic items and swallowing something so they friggin' die. Tiptoeing and walking on eggshells around your child to avoid certain behaviors and so on. Carefully planning out every single day just to have a smooth day without any screaming, without any hitting, without any pinching, without any headbutting, like things like that. You can just imagine you're so tired of taking care of this other human as much as you love them. And keep in mind, I do not doubt that the parents I'm speaking of in this video don't love their kids. I know they love their children, but it's hard sometimes. And you're just fucking exhausted. And it's hard enough for people with no kids and people with typically developing kids to work hard at maintaining a healthy, sexual, intimate life with your partner long term, right? But this is a whole new level, especially if you're talking about someone who needs to care for someone that requires so much support. Anyways, I've got news for everyone, okay? These parents, they want to be fucked. They want to be desired. They want to be thrown around. They want their hair pulled. They want to be smacked. They want to be fucked by, I don't know, double penetration and stick dildos and nipple clamps and dirty talk and just all things sexual. They need it and they want it, but maybe they don't know. They don't even know. Sometimes they don't even know how much they need it because their mind is so fucking foggy with all the other stuff going on. If you are a parent or a caregiver watching this video and you are in this kind of situation, I want to provide you with a platform right now to just let out what it is that you want sexually. You can be brave and write it in the comments below if you want. You can also send me an email and write it there. If I'm allowed to share these stories anonymously, of course, with discretion, let me know. Tell me what you want. Maybe you want to be, I don't know, double penetrated. Maybe you want to be fucked with a dildo stick. I don't know. Maybe you want someone to make your kids food all day and then fuck you on the kitchen table. Maybe you want to have a threesome. Maybe you want to have that wonderful, beautiful sex with your partner that you used to have pre-children. I have no idea. Okay, there's so many sexual desires. It's crazy. But maybe you want something like that. What is it? If you could have anything, what would it be? Just think about it. Think about it for a second and let me know if you want. I'd be very curious to know. And I just want to get your mind going there for a second, okay? This is where I feel like sex workers would become so handy. Again, I know sex workers is a big controversial topic for a lot of you out there, but I am very much for sex workers under the right conditions, of course. I mean, both parents and caregivers are just fucking exhausted, okay? Exhausted at the end of the day. They have no energy to take care of themselves, let alone take care of each other. A sex worker can come in and relieve some of that stress for them, take care of it, Take care of them, give them some pleasure, give them some orgasms, give them some attention that's just for them so that they don't have to think about the disability in their lives and they can have a moment to themselves where they feel some true pleasure inside and outside of their body. You know, talking about all this makes me think of designing some kind of sexual respite program for parents with children with disabilities. What do you guys think? You think that'll be a good niche to get into? I mean, usually respite programs are for trained professionals and caregivers to come in and help relieve the parents of responsibilities so they can get a little bit of a break. But this wouldn't really be like a break of responsibilities. This would be like a sexual break by providing the parents with some sexual desire. Because let's be honest, sexual wellness is a big component of our general wellness. The more people receive good, positive, incredible pleasure, the happier they are and the more energy they have to give back to people, which means they would potentially have more energy, more positivity to tackle on the challenges of the day when it comes to working with whatever disability it is that is present in their lives. Anyways, friends, I think this is a really interesting topic. For the person that left the comment, thank you so much. This kind of stuff, working with people with disabilities and so on, has always been a big part of my life and sort of tying in the sexual aspect as well. Again, I've worked directly with children with disabilities for many, many, many years, but I've also worked with the families and I've seen firsthand the challenges and the struggles they have and what they need and the support that they require. It's not just for the child or the individual with the disability that requires all the support. It is their ecosystem. It is their surrounding people and community that also need a lot of support, especially the caregivers or the parents. I'm making this video to say that I hear you, I support you, I'm rooting for you, and if you want to drop me a line about what turns you on and what fantasy you would just love to have, I would love to hear it from you all. Anyways, if you have any questions or comments, please drop them in the comments below. And also thank you to this person who subscribed to my Patreon. I am so grateful for everyone that is on there already. I believe I'm already at 1,000 members, which is crazy, crazy wild. So if you're interested in checking out, you can click on the description below. The Patreon is a new process for me, so it is only going to evolve and grow with time. So for everyone that's on there right now, I hope you stick around to see how it will evolve, because honestly, I'm not so sure, but I'm having fun figuring it out for myself and with you guys as well. So thank you so much for watching. As usual, je vous aime tous. Bisous.